out. Like your that washroom, you need to have some handle, something they'll say. The steps, they'll need the carpet so they don't slip. So all these things will be enlightened by a patient feedback. Then it promotes the accountability and transparency and positive reviews. It adds to your practice because it increases the reputation, especially the online positive reviews. So these are the areas which you can cover, like it can be in the appointment, registration experience, waiting time, the facilities maybe your lab facilities, that counseling department, all the departments, communication at various departments. So the patient will give you insight, like what are the areas. So you can have a feedback just concentrating on the communication part. Then the surgical experiences, the experience with the opticals and pharmacy, how they were with the billing process, waiting, everything. The follow-up care after surgery, whether they were called, all these matters. These are general in how you collect a feedback. This is the best option is the offline feedback, direct. As I said, it is internal. Nobody else knows. Only our team knows what is happening. And there are many methods of collecting it. You can have the age-old that form which we can fill, the suggestion box, visitors. Now they have so many softwares generated. Even your EMR can generate a feedback form. That is also possible. Then collecting feedback from the staff. This is very crucial because you have staff at the various points. They'll tell you, especially your security staff, housekeeping staff, they'll tell you what the patients are talking after their consultation. So you can have to take all these feedbacks. And the social media, the possibilities are endless. So these are the various methods by which you can generate a feedback. You can have SMS-based feedback, email. QR code is one way. You can have QR code facilities at various points in your setup. So patients can just scan and give the feedback immediately. And it becomes internal also. But it should be very user-friendly, concise, and should cover all points where the patient comes in contact. And open communication. When the patient comes for a review, you can have, when they are waiting after the dilatation, you can talk to their bystanders, the patient, how they feel about it, what are the scope of improvement. That's how various method of collecting feedback. Then you have to set up a group. It will include all the key staff members, doctors, everybody should be involved. And choosing the feedback tool, as I said earlier, you have to decide which is best for your option. Then alert system, especially negative feedback, don't ignore it. Act immediately. Before you lose the patient, you have to act and give a corrective measures. Sometimes you can win back the patient back. And always resolve the issues. This is sample feedback. This is a method of analyzing, giving priority and improvement and continuously evaluate the patient. These are the challenges. You don't have enough staff, time, and anonymity concern, resistant to change. That's a major factor. In conclusion, if you improve the feedback system, you can improve the patient care, build trust, helps understand what a patient wants, and boost online reputation. Thank you.
Excellent talk, Srikanth. One point which I really love, which you really explained, was that negative feedback has to be given all the importance. Some people will say, forget that. That thing you can neglect. But when somebody says anything negative, the usual tendency is to think like, oh, this is not the way I am or whatever. But always we have to give a lot of importance to negative feedback.
Next, we have Dr. Radha Ramnan. He'll be speaking on ethical marketing.
Good afternoon. Actually, ethical marketing is, when you talk about ethical marketing, is a really questionable thing. The question is, what is ethics? There are so many definitions. Examine the rational justification for our moral judgments. You can find out a lot of definitions in the things. And the marketing also, we will see a lot of definitions. Refers to the activities of a company undertakes to promote the buying or selling of the product. It includes advertising, selling, delivering product to consumers or other businesses. So when you combine it, that is a question comes. Ethical marketing is given when you promote a product, service, or brand in a way that aligns with your values and morals. Here is an important thing. Here it is written your values and morals. But your values and morals should be with your patient's values or other people's values and morals. So we should not make inflated claims, practicing transparency and openness and things like that. Our challenges are there is no definite definition or guidelines. So everyone will interpret it in a different way. So there is another problem is every hospital want to increase your patient flow. So when you want to increase your patient flow, it happens in a different way in different hospitals. Suppose it is a doctors, they have a way. If it is run by the corporate or other people, MBA people or some other people, their ethics will be totally different. So then you have to face, suppose one hospital is facing they will say suppose a doctor run hospital or some other hospital having a strict ethical practice, then he has to face some other practices. Sometimes he believes that it is unethical, but what is more important is what the common people believes. So how will you market it? There are basically, you are all aware, there are two ways when hospitals, eye hospitals are marketed. One is the direct way and second is the indirect way. Direct is advertising. You can have packages, surgical or executive tests, offers, commission agents, all these are possible. But indirect is the traditional way which works in most of the hospitals, or when you consider in Kerala, if you look at the major hospitals, all these major hospitals, they are working on indirect way. They works on free eye camps, patient education programs through media and leaflet. These are all works to some extent to your marketing. And charity, reduction of rates. I will come to each. Advertising, whether it is ethical. Second question is really a need for aggressive ads? I am not telling about an information passing only. You are giving an aggressive ad, whether it can act negatively also. Sometimes it happens. Some aggressive ads backfires. So legally coming, a medical practitioner is permitted to make a formal announcement in press regarding the following. This is the legal thing we have to understand. On starting of a practice, on change of type of practice, on changing address, on temporary absence from duty, on resumption of another practice, on succeeding to another practice or public declaration of charges. There is an excuses to find out when you give advertisement. You have to be careful. If you find this thing, you won't be in trouble and legally questioned. Regulations under the National Medical Commission Act, the new one, 2011, prohibit doctors from advertising themselves. But corporate hospitals has got an excuse. It's all affects more of doctors, not on the hospitals. But this is a news report from New Delhi. Two-judge bench of the Supreme Court on Tuesday, that is last month, October 10th, issued a notice on writ petition seeking directions on the regulation of advertising by the corporate hospitals. Justice Sanjay Khan Kaul and Sudhanshu Dhulia issued notice to the National Medical Commission. So this is under the Supreme Court consideration now. So packages, when you are telling surgical packages, as Alex was earlier mentioning about all this thing, whether we have a problem with mentioning everything on IOL cost, and sometimes it backfires. Executive screening, we have to do it carefully, and there are so many family packages coming. These are all the present day scenario. Family packages comes, one person is operated, the other family members get it free. Then we have a festival packages. Then everyone having ophthalmic day celebrations, World Sight Day, glaucoma, all these things having packages. Offers, I don't know what to talk about offers, sometimes it affects negatively. I think this is my experience. Most of the offers backfires. Commission system, we can give commission to the patient, to the agents, to fellow doctors, and to any person to get the patient. But this is, you have to think clearly what you want, and you have to, more importantly, you have to think what others will think about you. Okay, camps most established in there is unhealthy competition of camps by the hospital is a very, very important thing nowadays. Patient education leaflets all gives you lot of importance and publicity. Charity other than eye camps also is, then the flood situation, even KSOS was a forefront in all this thing. The question now at present is whether the aggressive marketing by one hospital affects another hospital. What do you think? Sometimes we think that it affects the other hospital, but you have to think sometimes it enhances the other hospital also. So don't worry about a aggressive hospital marketing. It will help after some time to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now we have Dr. Kaushik Murali, who will be talking on managing the social media.
So here we're sitting in a room discussing how to market, how to do social media, while most of us would probably think that we should rather be seeing patients. So once again, I thank KSOS for this invitation to be a part of this IC. Dr. Srikanth and Dr. Radharamanan have kind of made it easy, setting the context for what marketing is and how important social media and the online presence is. So we need to understand that social media is an animal, and this is an animal we need to understand. All our patients invariably are using social media. It allows us to communicate one-on-one with them. It is extremely cost effective because you can actually target it rather than do a paint and spray approach where you're doing something in the city. It allows you not just to sell, but also to showcase activities, accomplishments. You can promote you can do promotional activities, you can attract colleagues that you may want to join your practice, and it allows you to showcase testimonials. On the flip side, there always is a risk that the database that you have can be shared, can be sold, everything is available. There can be a false narrative that can come out. Information that you want to be held close can get out, and it does take time. And today, with the social media coming in, again, patients are going to refer to it and land up. We've had patients ask questions on ChatGPT as to when their scleral buckle should be removed and sit and fight with our doctors. So, there is not far where this is going to become a routine practice for us. When you look at social media per se, it allows you to, one, attract new patients, it allows you to raise public awareness, and three, more importantly, it allows you as a communication channel to actually showcase what your brand is. And consistency in doing all of this becomes very, very important. All these three, irrespective of the size of your practice or whether you're starting off your career or you're way ahead of it, continues to hold good stead. When you look at social media platforms, there are a dime a dozen. These four probably would be the most relevant. To put it in context, Facebook is similar to having a notice board. So it allows you to inform about various sessions that you're having. You can have a Facebook live session where you can interact with various people. You can give updates about seasonal outbreaks that are happening in and around your community, or even something as simple as saying that the road to the hospital is blocked or there is some construction going on. Use a rear platform. Twitter, or what is now referred to as X, is more like your breaking news platform. It is great to post about newspaper